patient. So here we can observe that there is a wide base of support and the weight bearing of the patient is on both. So as the patient becomes competent, narrow base of support will be observed in the patient. So next we're going to assess the activities of preschool and toddlers. So this activity is named low kneel to high kneel position. This is to assess patients in 15 months to 2 years old. So the weight bearing of the patient is on the dorsal of the foot, as you can see here, and to the anterior aspect of the lower legs. So in this position, you will observe contraction of the lower extremity muscles, and then contraction of back extensor also. And then, kaya na rin i-perform ng patient ang high kneeling position. So this position or this activity is in preparation for standing. So if the patient can perform this activity, so maybe she can proceed to standing position. So next we're going to assess if the patient can perform high kneel to half kneel position. So this assessment is performed to patients with 18 months to 27 months. So the patient will be weight bearing on the anterior aspect of the lower limb, and then will perform half kneeling position. So the weight bearing now is in the anterior aspect of the lower extremity on her left side, and the dorsal of the foot on the left side, and then the plantar aspect of the foot on the other side. So this position, or the low kneeling, high kneeling to half kneeling position, is in preparation for the patient to standing from the ground. So this we will observe also the co-contraction of the back extensors and abdominals, also the contraction of the hip flexors, abductors, and gluteals of the patient. Next is the assessment of side step. This is the assessment for 18 to 30 years old. So the base of support of the patient is weight bearing on both feet with intermittent bouts of single limb support. The center of gravity maintenance over base of support is in the frontal plane. So there is contraction. We will observe contraction of the back extensors again and abdominals, and then the gluteals, abductors, adductors, and hip flexors and extensors of the patient. We will also observe contraction of ankle plantar flexors, and this is to increase child's maneuverability around through obstacles in the environment, and the child will demonstrate a mature representation of a side step. Standing on one foot on the other hand is assessed in pediatric patients in 2.5 to 3.5 years old. So the weight bearing is on a single foot, and then there is contraction of the back extensors and abdominals, quadriceps. There is also a contraction of the abductors. Next assessment is jumping from 2 feet. This is for infants or toddlers at the age of 3 to 4 years old. So the base of support of the patient is weight bearing on both feet. So in preparation phase, there is muscle activity of the trunk stabilization, concentric hip and knee flexion, there is also contraction of the hip extensors and ankle plantar flexors. On the action phase, there is a concentric gluteal contraction, hip and knee extension, and plantar flexion. This activity allows for a rehearsal of higher level of gross motor play skills and increased management of center of gravity. Next assessment is jumping off a step. This is assessed to toddlers at 3 to 4 years old. So the weight bearing of the patient is on both feet, and then the activity of the muscles are, there is concentric hip and knee flexion, contraction of hip extensors and ankle plantar flexors during the preparation phase. On the other hand, the action phase has a concentric hip and knee extension, contraction of back extensors, gluteal contraction, plantar flexion with forward component. And lastly, the landing phase, trunk stabilization, eccentric contraction of hip extensors, knee extensors, and ankle plantar flexors. This also allows for a rehearsal of higher level of gross motor play skills and an increased management of center of gravity. Next assessment for toddlers and preschool children is the toe walking. This is assessed at 3 to 4 years old patients. So the base of support is at the metatarsophalangeal joints and digits. So there is an activity of the muscles of hip flexors, gluteals, quadriceps, and plantar flexors. This is also allows for a rehearsal of higher level of gross motor play skills and an increased management of the center of gravity. The child may hold arms out to sides for balance. There are also maybe a drop of the heel as weight is accepted. Heel walking is assessed at 4 to 5 years old. The base of support is at the bilateral calcaneae or calcaneus. So there is a contraction of the hip flexors, quadriceps, gluteals, and dorsiflexors. Initially, the toes may be raised only slightly from the floor. The base of support will be wide and increased trunk flexion and utilization of arms as balance. As the child's strength increases, toes are lifted and maintained a maximal distance from the floor.